Joining us now is Matt Zeller. He's actually Major Zeller now at the Individual Ready Reserve. With his interpreter, Janice Shinwari, he co-founded the group No One Left Behind, which advocates bringing Afghan interpreters safely to the U.S. Major Zeller, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me, ma'am.
What are you hoping to hear from President Biden tomorrow, and do you have any expectations about what you will hear?
I hope he says the words, "We're going to get them to Guam." Guam is the best place to bring these people. The island stands ready to receive them. It has a historical precedent of having been used previously in other evacuations. At the end of the Vietnam War in 1996, we actually moved a contingent of about 6,000 of our Kurdish allies there for a couple of months. So we want him to say, get them to Guam. What we don't want him to say is that we're going to move them to some third country that we have to negotiate a refugee camp that might end up being there in perpetuity. We want them on U.S. soil where they belong in safety so that we can process their asylum cases without them having to worry about the Taliban death squads that are hunting them right now. In fact, when I get off this interview with you, I'm going to be interviewing a guy for our podcast called Wartime Allies who had the Taliban throw a grenade into his house last week. They killed his brother. They're hunting these people down one by one systematically, and it's for a purpose. They're trying to convince future partners that American friendship is a death sentence. And the so what of all of this is that in addition to having a moral obligation to saving these people's lives, because we made a promise that if they served with us, we'd take care of them, we're going to have to stand to then suffer higher casualty rates in future wars if we don't take care of these people now, because no one's ever going to believe us again. And our nation's veterans are going to suffer a profound moral injury too if we don't keep this promise.
Help me understand the fight here, because this is so urgent and so timely. This is not some prospective thing that we're spelling out as some sort of hypothetical or as some sort of war game. This is right now. As you're saying, people are being hunted down right now as U.S. troops withdraw. As far as I can tell from here, veterans serving in Congress, people who served in Afghanistan and are now veterans who are now members of Congress, think that Guam is a good idea. Veterans advocacy groups think that Guam is a good idea. There's even been reporting that the White House thinks Guam is a good idea. The governor of Guam and the people of Guam appear to be in favor of this. And as you say, there is historical precedent for them playing this kind of role. Given that I don't see anybody lined up on the other side of the argument, what is the holdup here?
We're told it's the Department of Homeland Security. We're told it's career officials who want to do that whole, oh, we can't bring them here, they might be bad people. This program has existed for over 13 years. And in that time, not a single nefarious individual has ever snuck through. These people had to be vetted just to even work with us overseas. So they've already gone through some extensive vetting just to be able to serve alongside U.S. forces. And the reality is that the Taliban does not care about our standard of vettings of who gets a visa and doesn't. If you worked a day with us, they're going to kill you. And it should be a national security imperative to now save these people's lives. You're right, Rachel. You point out we've built them a bipartisan coalition that could prevent a human rights disaster in the making. We call this a never again moment in the making. This is an administration that champions itself as a defender of human rights. Well, here it is. Here's one of those moments that we are all raised on as children, that if we fail to do this, mass murder is going to take place. And we have all of the means to prevent it. We just now need the courage and conviction to do the right thing.